Max, how important should this game be to the Cavs?
Not important at all. What LeBron James has shown through his entire career, his second career with the Cavs, he understands the tortoise versus the hare. Everyone else wants to see them getting out and running and focused the whole time. And, LeBron has his eyes on the prize. He paces himself. He figures out how to get optimal return on a group, from a group of guys, how to turn them into a team. He saves himself and his energy defensively for when he really needs it in high leverage moments in the playoffs. Let's not forget that the reason that anyone else has won MVP recently, including Kevin Durant, is because, maybe especially Kevin Durant, is because defensively, LeBron took his foot off the gas in the regular season for low-leverage games, while Durant was still grinding, And why did LeBron do that? So when the time was right, when he needed it most, he could turn it on. It's one of the reasons he's been so successful deeper into his career than anyone who ever lived who played basketball. So LeBron understands this. Now, you add to that the fact that Isaiah Thomas wasn't available all year, and they'd never played with Isaiah Thomas, and he's a huge offensive piece. He's going to be their second most important offensive player when all is said and done. He's replacing their second most important offensive player in Kyrie Irving, and counted on to do some of the same things that Kyrie did offensively. And so the Cavs, who struggled as usual early in this season before they got rolling, have to reset, and they're basically in their preseason right now. LeBron James can't be worried about beating the Warriors or showing them what's what in a regular season game. If anything, Stephen A., it should be just the opposite. They should Popovich it a little bit and just tinker with the team and see what they need and not even worry about winning this game. Don't tip your hand. Don't give the Warriors any kind of extra confidence that they don't need. That's what the Cavs should do.
Well, you're wrong because you're short-sighted. And that's really what this comes down to. You're short-sighted because you're thinking about LeBron James. You're not thinking about the collective pieces that play alongside him. Of course, you're right about LeBron James if it's all about LeBron. But if there's one team in the NBA that has proven that LeBron alone cannot beat them, it is the Golden State Warriors, who've won 2 of the last 3 NBA championships. And even when LeBron won that one, in the middle, Kyrie Irving was the one that closed the deal. And by the way, he averaged 27 points per game in that NBA Finals series. So we have to pay attention to that. We also have to pay attention to the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers have lost 3 straight, 7 of 9, 8 of their last 11. They're reeling. With Isaiah Thomas on the court over the last 3 games, Max, they have surrendered 387 points in those 3 losses. Now, granted, they're on the road. Those were on the road. Tonight's game is at home. And unbeknownst to a lot of people, with all the Cavaliers' struggles, everybody's forgotten they're in the midst of a 13-game home winning streak. So I expect them to show up tonight and play relatively decent compared to how they have been playing. But the reason why a game like tonight is important is because the Golden State Warriors look to go for the jugular. They do what champions do. They don't just beat you, they demoralize you. Steph Curry's averaging 27. KD's averaging 26. Klay's averaging 20. They've only surrendered 50% shooting or better from the field 2 times this entire season. That means while the Cavaliers are struggling defensively, that's the last thing that the Golden State Warriors have had to worry about. All of these things play a role, not with LeBron at all, because he's going to do what he's going to do. But you need somebody else to show the ability to step up other than him and Kevin Love continuing to do the job that he has done. Isaiah Thomas being in the lineup for the first time against the Warriors, certainly he still doesn't have his legs. He's still a bit rusty and whatever. But even healthy, as you've proclaimed, Max, and rightfully so, he is a defensive liability against one of the most potent offenses we have ever seen in NBA history because of their long snipering ability. The only person you could put him on the floor against is Steph Curry, and Steph Curry has like a 4 to 5 inch height advantage over him. So you take all of those things into consideration. You're going to have to find a way other than LeBron for somebody else to step up and be able to do something. And because of all the problems that they've had, JR not being in the lineup, then getting in the starter lineup and struggling to score in double digits from game to game. D-Wade coming off the bench, even though he's been better. Tristan Thompson effective off the bench and rebounding, but at the same time, he came back from an injury, still trying to find his way. Isaiah Thomas still trying to find his way. Tyronn Lue having to bring all of these personalities together for one goal in mind and figuring out about who's going to play where and when and how. All of these things. If you had the same team you had last year, you'd be right, Max. Don't mean anything. It's just a damn good basketball game. But because of all the issues that Cleveland has had and how they're struggling to get it together, personality-wise, as well as on the basketball court as a collective unit, that is what makes a game like tonight important. Not in terms of the outcome, but in terms of playing together.